Hello FPL world, my name is Gordon and welcome to FPL Galaxy. We're just getting back from some long international break. Of course, no international break ever feels short. Yeah, so we're back onto some FPL action and let's get back to the nitty gritties of what's been happening. Yes, the last week, the last known game week was game week 8. We're going straight into game week 9. So before that, I just want to review my team, see the lessons I learned from what happened in this week. Then I'll be able to show you guys the transfer that I made, and then we'll show you my team selection for game week 9. And then, as usual, what I've incorporated into my videos, giving my thoughts on some honorable mentions on the players I feel may be able to perform even though I do not necessarily have them. So now going straight into the game week 8 team review. This is how my team did. As you're able to see there, this team collected about 56 points and my overall points are up to 369. Not great, yes, but we're getting there. So let's see. In goal I had Rare only managed to collect 2 points. Yes, they were able to concede 3 goals. Yeah, that was a battering from Arsenal, a 3-0. Yes, 3-0. So there was no reply from Brentford there, as you're able to see. But Rare managed to get 2 points. As you're able to know, when a team concedes 2 goals, what you will be able to see is that there's going to be a -1 on the defender or the goalkeeper. So that just means that Rare managed to collect some save point there. Yeah, it wasn't his best match, but as we already know, Rare is a save point machine, and that's how he managed to collect another point, even though having lost one because of the +2 goals that he conceded. Then going in defense, I went with Cancelo, Perisic, and Trippier. Then of course Neco Williams came from the bench as he came in as a sub. So what happened in this game week is that it was somewhat a blank game week because there are some players that didn't feature, the likes of Liverpool, Leeds, Manchester United, Brighton, Crystal Palace. Such teams didn't play. So for people that didn't have a wild card going into game week 8, like me, I had to field the players that I had at that particular time. So I was quite fortunate that I actually had an entire squad, which is the 11 of all playing players that particular day. So that's why you're able to see Neco Williams there. There are some other players that were on the bench. For example, yeah, as you are going to be able to see Zinchenko, Da Silva, and Luis Diaz. Zinchenko picked up an injury, and that's why he wasn't able to play ahead of Neco Williams. Had Zinchenko played and taking that Arsenal, of course, kept that clean sheet, I would have gotten more points than I had gotten in this one. Yeah, so Cancelo awarded me with some nice points there. As you know, Cancelo is a machine when it comes to bonus points because of the activity that he actually has on the pitch. So many chances he creates and is involved in the link play, and that's why you get to see Cancelo picking up so many bonus points. He picked up all the 3 bonus points, and of course the clean sheet points, as you're able to see. Perisic, unfortunately, they conceded, and that's why he was only able to pick 2 points. Yeah, Trippier, fortunately enough, he was able to assist, and that's how come he got those 5 points, even though having conceded a goal. They were playing against Bournemouth, but because of the assist plus the 2 minutes for playing, he got 5 points. So he is the transfer that I made in going into this game week, and I was glad that it paid off. Yeah, 5 points. Of course, I wasn't expecting much from this game week, as you're able to see. Bournemouth did the same thing against Nottingham Forest, where we thought Neco Williams was going to get some decent points, but Bournemouth just came up with some game that we didn't even expect them to. Yeah, they scored 3 goals against Nottingham Forest, and they did a similar thing to Newcastle. So as you're able to see, Trippier got that assist and the playing points, and that's how come he got there. So going into my My midfield, that's how the midfield did. Wasn't so great, but Martinelli there got the extra point for the clean sheet. Then Kulusevski only managed to get 1 assist. Then Andreas is the one I picked over Da Silva. Unfortunately, only managed to get a point. Da Silva got 2. I feared that Da Silva may be able to get more, so I was glad that he only managed to get 2. So that compensated for what I would have lost on the bench, because Da Silva remained on the bench and I played Andreas over him, and that's what happened. So now going into my attack, this is the attack I went for. I captained Haaland, and of course for me Haaland is going to be a perma captain. I do not even want to second guess this one. He looks so good on the ball, he knows what he's trying to do, and he even gets frustrated if he doesn't score more than 1 goal. That's the kind of player that you need in your FPL team. That's the kind of player that you need to back the captaincy on, and that's why I put my captaincy on Haaland. Kane has been doing the stuff. He's been putting in those points. As you're able to see, Kane gave, of course, those people that backed him, you guys that were able to trust Kane with the captaincy, you were awarded a number of points, 8 more than that of Haaland. So fair play to you guys. You made a good call. Then Jesus awarded us with a goal. Unfortunately, there was no bonus point from him, so only the 6 points. Yeah, it's acceptable considering how wild this game week was. There were so many people that wild carded, and they are the people that celebrated a lot in this particular game week, because they are the likes of De Bruyne in the mid. Yeah, so they are the likes of Isak in front. So you expect that for those that didn't have the wild card and then they made negatives, for you to get a 50 around those ranges was pretty decent, because most wildcarders were in the ranges of 60 going up. Of course, there were some that were in the 50s, but for most of them, they started from around 60 points going up. That was a successful wildcard team. Yeah, some got 59, which is pretty decent. But if you didn't wildcard and you got yourself somewhere in the ranges of 50, because in this particular game week, the average mark was 50. So getting above the average mark as a non-wildcarder was really massive. And this is what I managed to do. Fortunate enough, I had some players that didn't blank. Now, the bench was made up of Ward, Zinchenko, Da Silva, and Diaz, who blanked. Ward, as you're able to see, that's a 0. It was a tough match against Tottenham Hotspurs. Yeah, they really came in hot, because as you're able to know, Heung-min Son made the headlines in that particular match. He came in and had a 15-minute cameo of a hat-trick. Nobody expected that to happen. But of course, if Son had even played more minutes, if he had started this particular match, you would have expected him to do even more, probably assists, a hat-trick, or even more. Yeah, so that's why we're able to see that Ward got a 0 there, because of the amount of goals that Tottenham were able to score. So this was my team. Out of all this team, I managed to collect 56 points, which I was mighty glad for, because it could have been worse than this. I had Neco William and Andreas. They are players that are bench options, so that's why I'm able to see ones in them. So it could have been a better, if it could have been a better player in there, could have seen better points, probably in the 60s or somewhere there. But this is acceptable. We want now to focus onto the next game week. Now, before that, I would like to show you guys the transfer that I made. I was able to see there are some yellows in here. There are some people that I have to remove. Yeah, but of course I didn't remove Zinchenko. Maybe you may be able to guess the next player that will leave my team. I need to make way for Madison, and the player that has to leave my team is Kulusevski. The reason behind this transfer is because, as you're able to know, a lot of things are happening at Spurs, and because of that trio that is consisting of Son, Kulusevski, and Richarlison, what's happening there is that because Spurs are playing in UEFA, they have to make sure that the minutes are well managed. Players are fit enough to play UEFA, and both competitions are important to Spurs. They have both for the taking. They are placed in a very good position in both of them. Of course, they were from losing the UEFA Champions League that they had, but they still have a chance to compete in both of them, and that's why you're going to see Song, Kulusevski, and Richarlison fighting for the two positions. So you're going to see that one of them will be suffering in terms of minutes from time to time. So I wouldn't want such a thing to happen, because I need somebody who is going to be lasting 80 plus minutes in a match to give me those expected points. And that man is no other than Maddison, who has got the fixture and the form to be able to do that. Maddison is a bowler, and that's why he's coming into my team, and he's coming in because of the projected fixtures, or rather the fixtures with the projected points that he may have. So Maddison is coming in at the back of 3 attacking returns, or rather 3 goals already. Even though Leicester as a team ain't doing so well, Maddison has been bringing in the goals. Now imagine what would happen if they start facing the more lenient teams, so to speak. But what I'm trying to say is they're going to start playing teams that are kind of weaker than they are. So the past teams that they've played are more on the tough side. Spurs wasn't an easy fixture. They've played Manchester United in this same period. They've played Chelsea. They've played Arsenal, and they played Brentford. All teams that score high. But now they find themselves placed in a very good position, because they are going to be playing the likes of Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Leeds, and Wolves. Some of the teams that are conceding so many goals. And you need a man like Maddison who scores goals and creates many chances. So you expect a number of assists and goals from him. And that's why I've brought him into my team. I didn't even hesitate making this move, because I know the value that he brings onto my team. Now going into the game week 9 team selection, this is what I go in with. I go in with 369 points. I have to break the 400 barrier. So many people are in the 400s already. They're aiming for 500s. But let's see what this game week brings us. The overall ranking is around 4.8 million. And for your information, the game week 8 that just passed, I was able to gain a rank of about 390k. Yeah, so I'm happy about that rank rise, because I have to rise in rank. Look at where I'm placed. So of course, it's the start of the season, anything can happen. I need to break into the top 1 million for me to start aiming even higher. So that's where I am right now, and we go into game week 9 like that. In goal, I go in with Rare. Then those are my defenders. I've got Cancelo, Perisic, Trippier, and Neco Williams. The reason why I'm going with Neco Williams there is that he's facing a Leicester team which concedes so many, and because of the attacking threat that Neco Williams has, he may have a chance of scoring or assisting himself. So I'm betting that spot on him, for him to be able to bring in something that is unexpected. Then Martinelli, Maddison, and Diaz make my mid. Martinelli has been playing very well, and that's why he keeps that place, but is one of those that most people would want to take out because of the 10 in fixtures and the blank game week 12 that is coming. So Cancelo, Martinelli, Haaland, Jesus are people that are going to be affected by that blank game week 12. Yeah, so Diaz, I'm really optimistic as to what is going to happen in this match. I don't know what's going to happen, but I hope whatever is going to be happening in that Liverpool attack, Diaz may be able to have a hand in it. Maddison, we're just from talking about him at length. So this Nottingham Forest match is something that I'm eagerly waiting to see come to fruition, as I expect him to have 2 attacking returns at the minimum. Yeah, I didn't talk about Trippier because I don't expect much coming from that fixture. It's an away fixture, so it won't be easy. The likes of Mitrovic, if he manages to play, may be a destructive asset to that Newcastle team. So they may be able to concede once or twice, but getting a clean sheet from them is something that is going just to be a bonus at this particular time. But I'm putting him there for the attacking potential that he has, the assists, or even a goal. Could be from a set piece. So that's why I have him in there. Perisic, I don't expect much from him because, I mean, this is an Arsenal team and this is the London derby. It's going to be fierce. And I expect some assist from him. It could be an assist from the corner that can go. That would be brilliant and sweet to have as an FPL return. Him assisting and Ken scoring in there. Talking about Ken, my forward is made up of him, Jesus, and Captain Haaland. As I mentioned, Haaland is my permanent captain, and that's why he keeps the armband still. Playing Manchester United, this is going to be a Manchester derby, and Manchester City are home. You expect a number of goals there. This can't end as a goalless draw, and so if Manchester City are going to score, you expect Haaland to probably score once or twice or do something there, and that's why the captaincy goes there. I have to mention that my vice captain is Madison. He is actually a captaincy shout this week. If I didn't have Haaland in that team, I would have definitely put my captaincy on Madison because I expect a lot of returns from him this week. My bench is made up of Ward, De Silva, Andreas, and Zinchenko. Zinchenko, unfortunately, is injured. He's got a knee injury and is flagged at 50% chance of playing, so I don't expect him to play. So Da Silva, I've placed him as the first sub there because he's playing a slightly easier fixture as compared to Andreas. So if anybody in this 11 of mine doesn't play, I expect Da Silva to come in there. Ward, I can see the fixtures turning. Hopefully, may be able to start getting those clean sheets. It's been quite difficult and challenging for people that have owned him as their main goalkeeper, but you see the fixtures have turned now. Leicester may be able to start bringing in those clean sheets here and there, and maybe this may just be the time for Ward to prove himself as the best value goalkeeper. So hopefully he's going to reward his backers this week. So, but of course I've got Neco William there, so I'm contradicting myself here as you have seen. But I have Neco William there, knowing that Ward hasn't been great. Yeah, they may be able to keep a clean sheet, but you expect goals from either side in this particular matchup, and that's why I have the likes of Neco William in there. So this is my team. I expect a minimum of 60 points from here if all goes well. So I'm backing the attacking assets more than the defense. I have 4 defenders there, of course, but it is more about the attack than the defense as I'm going into this fixture. So now I would like to make my honorable shouts for the week, and these are my honorable shouts. I've got Salah there, who is only priced at 12.9. He's gone down in value. I honestly feel you should have been lower than that. I honestly do not know why the value is still maintained at that. So many people have shipped Salah out, but this is something that you don't expect happening to him. Tony comes in at 7.2, facing Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Brighton. Some pretty good fixtures that you expect him to score big in. Finally, I'm mentioning James there at 6, facing Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Aston Villa. So all these guys, I'm mentioning them because they've got potential to score big, especially Salah because he's been dropped by so many. This particular matchup is actually a captaincy shout. You can captain Salah in this match as Brighton do not have Graham Potter as their manager anymore. So we do not know what's going to happen to them, whether they're going to have the same defensive prowess they had, and that's why I have a shout on Salah. And past game week 12, Salah is going to have brilliant fixtures, and it's somebody I'm making plans to bring in. So this has been it, guys. Appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for watching, and do subscribe to the channel there if you are enjoying what you're watching. So please do comment in the comment section, and you can follow me at FPL Galaxy 7. Catch you on the next one.